Plaintiff Catherine Newton says she dated the defendant after they met online, and she claims he is a physically abusive con artist. Catherine claims she had the defendant arrested after he assaulted her and threatened her with a knife, and she's suing him for loans, medical expenses, and pain and suffering. Defendant Brian Moon admits that he and Catherine got into a fight, but he insists she attacked him. Brian says he was simply restraining Catherine, and he was forced to physically remove her from his place after she kicked his dog. He's countersuing for the cost of a door and malicious prosecution.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, ever since meeting Brian, my outlook on dating has completely changed. I used to be a really easygoing, trusting person, and now I don't trust anyone. He turned out to be
When did you start dating him?
Middle of March is when we met.
Where'd you meet him?
We met online. He turned out to be a con artist, a liar, and physically abusive, as he did end up hitting me.
When did he start conning you?
From day one.
Describe how he was conning you.
Well, I didn't really pick up on it right away, but he told me that he's a professional poker player and business investor, and he has all these fancy cars.
That's
and
true.
I never saw the cars, and he lives in a very mediocre condo in a very mediocre part of Chicago. But I didn't think anything of it because I don't care about material things. So
you didn't see any of the cars?
No, I never saw the cars. He always borrowed my car.
Your Honor, I haven't had a license, so.
But he would take me to work and drive my car.
Would you drive a car?
No. So
I never drove a car?
Maybe once or twice, but no, not.
So why you say no? Ask you if you ever drive a car, and the first thing you say no.
Oh,
I said, did you ever try? Well, a couple times. I wasn't as big as I am today. Tell me how big you are. She said you're big, real big. You tell me.
My apologies.
How big are you?
Me?
Yeah. She said you got all these cars, and you said it's true. I'm big.
So.
I'm big as she says. Tell me how big you are. How many cars? What type of cars you got?
Right now, I have one. I have an Aston Martin DBS.
What was that when you were borrowing her car?
It was in the
winter.
winter.
Think about it now. Work it out. Work it out. Work that thing out. Work that thing out in your mouth. You start doing like this. What am I going to say to that? Now, you got it together? Where was it?
I'm sorry?
Where was it?
I had it in storage until it got nice out.
You ride the bus?
I do not.
You ain't big as you said you were.
Take an Uber during a lot. There was maybe a few times where I've driven.
Okay, so you only have one car?
Correct.
All right. Remember when he said he had several cars and you said over there, that's correct?
Okay.
You were lying again?
Fair enough.
All right. Come on with this short con. Yeah, you went for some easy con. Go ahead, young lady.
Yes, I did. Well, I started noticing, about a month or so in that just everything he said was a lie. I'm a registered nurse. I'm very proud to be a registered nurse, but he would introduce me to people as a surgeon because apparently...
When?
Apparently nurse isn't good enough.
When did that ever happen?
And then he met my parents, and my dad even called it. Right after meeting him, my dad was like, I don't trust him. All he wants to do is impress people. He's like, don't loan him any money. Just be careful. And I, should have listened to Dad.
Went against your dad's advice?
Well, I had already loaned the money at that point.
March 15th, and then how long after that did you loan him money?
It was towards the end of April.
Okay, what was the excuse?
He said that he was going to play poker at a local casino somewhere, and he tried to wire $375,000 to the casino. His bank said it was suspicious, so they froze his account, so he needed cash for the weekend.
Okay, so his own bank won't give him his money. All right. You don't even have a private bank.
That's not
all right.
even...
In April, that was how much did you have to give him?
At first, it was $1,000, and then he used that money to buy Blackhawks playoffs tickets and said he needed more for the weekend and asked for $2,000.
That's not true.
All right. Weekend. When were you to receive payment?
Immediately, he sent a Chase Quick Pay before I took it out, and then he canceled the payment. I have my bank statements if you'd like to see them.
You canceled or it bounced?
Well, I'm not sure. It just says it did not go through.
Yeah, that usually means bounce.
It did.
It did not go through. That's terrible. I want to hear some of these stories. Go ahead.
No problem. It was correct. The quick pay was accepted before any cash was given.
I want to know about you getting money from this woman, as rich as you are.
It was not through the wire. It was because I was going through an audit at the time, and they had a two-week freeze on my accounts.
Why? You must have been delinquent on your taxes.
I was not delinquent.
No, they don't freeze your account when they auditing you. You think you're talking to. People got business can't operate while it's getting audited. You got to close your doors. because of an audit? Man, you're not going to even insult my intelligence.
All right.
Couldn't buy a bottle of milk because they were auditing me. Go ahead,
That's
ma'am.
not true. It was a short term.
Go ahead, tell me about this fight.
Okay.
That you're suing him about.
On June 8th, he invited me to go to Game 3 of the Stanley Cup. So we went to the game, and then he wanted to go out after the game, go to the bars, and I ended up convincing him to leave at like 2 in the morning. He somehow had my phone and saw that I received a text message from another guy, and he just went crazy. So like I dropped him off at his place. I needed to get my stuff out of his condo so that I could go to work in the morning, and he slammed a door. He tried to slam a door on me, but I got through it and followed him to the elevator, which is where then he started hitting me. He hit me a few times. I lost hearing in my left ear, and my face swelled up, and so I called the cops. And I sat and waited in this hallway for the cops to come. He threw all my stuff in the hallway, and then he opens the door to the condo, has a butcher knife in one hand, grabs me by my hair and drags me into the condo, puts the knife to my throat and says, he says, "I've killed people before, you won't be my first."
Okay.
At that moment, I was like,
Fair enough.
I was like, it's gonna hurt, it's really gonna hurt, but it'll be over soon. Like, I legitimately thought I was going to die.
What happened when the police came?
They asked me if I wanted to press charges, and I said yes. And I have the police report.
They charged him?
So why did they throw it out in court?
They
then?
charged him?
Yes.
All right.
I have the
Let's
police report here.
Oh,
here,
you
sorry,
have
there's another
pictures
page.
of the assault?
I do. I also have my ER bills and papers if you'd like those.
What do you say to this, sir?
Well, that's not exactly how it happened. She started getting physical with me on the way home from the bar because she said I wasn't paying enough attention to her.
What'd she do?
Huh?
What did
she slapped me in the back of the head. She threw a couple punches at me.
Who was driving?
On the way home.
I was punching and driving.
And
While she was driving?
no, we did not because we got a ride with my friends.
Okay,
so we
hold
did
on.
not drive because she was wasted.
Oh, okay.
And then
so
we took a
you all
cab
were in the
home.
car with somebody else?
So yes.
Okay. Did they have any? Did they talk to the police or
No,
did
because
you get a statement from them?
No, because on the way home we took a cab home.
So you were in the cab and she started smacking you upside the head.
Yeah.
Then what?
When we got out of the cab, she was being ridiculous and out of control, and I didn't want her.
Doing what?
She was throwing a tantrum, getting physical with me, trying to hit me.
Like how?
She was throwing punches at me. She picked up.
Where were you at that point?
So we got out on the street in front of my building, and she picked something up and threw it at me. So at that point, I kind of pushed her away, and she kept going crazy and trying to.
Why didn't you walk away?
I tried to walk away.
And
She
what
kept
happened?
going to follow, and she had stuff in the house. She thought she was coming up to stay, and I was like, "Listen, I'll call you cabs because you're not staying here tonight." So she got into my place, and she's still physically attacking me and going crazy, and my dog's going crazy at this point. And intentionally, as my dog's a very sweet dog and doesn't like fights. She's like trying to push the dog out of the way and kicks it. And at that point, I pick her up, pull her on the floor, out in the lobby, and restrain her. So at that point, she starts going crazy on my door and starts kicking it, knocking it. She actually broke the hinges and broke the door and
She says it was to get her things. How do you think all these bruises happened to her?
So, there was a struggle, you're right. I don't know if she was whatever, but...
No, it's no whatever. That's what you're being sued for.
Okay.
These bruises. You need to describe all this. Do you need to see them? Black eyes, bruises that appears she was hit with your fist up against her face? You need to see them?
I've never hit a woman with a fist.
All right. Do you have any idea what happened there?
So, there was a struggle. I was restraining her from hitting me.
You don't get a black eye from being restrained.
It could have been from the struggle. Could have been when she was going.
No, you don't get a black eye from struggle. You're the poorest con man I've ever seen.
Okay.
Give me the pictures back.
Not trying to.
You horrible, man.
Not trying to do anything.
When are you getting sued? You're a short-time con man.
Okay, so.
All right.
Anyways, so she started. She had her stuff inside my place, and I didn't want her in. So as she's banging on the door, kicking the door, and broke the hinges.
All right. Do you have a police statement?
I do not have a police
You didn't tell them what happened?
You know what? When they come in and when they're called,
Did you tell them what happened or not?
No, when they came
You're
in.
saving the story for me. Or you hadn't made one up yet.
No.
Or you hadn't made one up yet.
No,
Let me tell you
there's
what
no-
her police report says. Upon arrival, Catherine Newton related that she and her boyfriend engaged in verbal. Defendant then struck the victim with closed fists. That's what it looked like it happened, causing bruises and swelling to the left cheek and a abrasions to the right wrist. Victim requested a report and signed complaints on the offender. You say he was charged. What happened with the case?
I got dismissed.
Okay, why?
The DA threw out the case because I went to court and they threw out the case because there wasn't enough evidence and her.
That's not correct, Your Honor.
So,
they asked me what I wanted. They asked me to tell my story, and I started out by saying there had been drinking, and they immediately said that his actions, if there's even the slightest chance I hit first, it's self-defense, and so they did not want to try the case.
It was dismissed because you requested it be dropped because you say they told you they couldn't win.
Right.
However, the police saw this and they believed there was probable cause. And that's all you need to be exonerated from malicious prosecution is something indicating that there was probable cause to arrest you and to charge you. It was not malicious. It was based on the evidence that the police and the prosecutor saw.
Well, we also have a security system in the building, and the video showed that she.
Where's the video at? Let's see it.
I did not. Bring
I know
it to
you
court,
didn't.
So.
Now let's.
But we did. We did send it to.
I know. All right. Okay, and you should know this. I don't believe a word you've said, so I'm going to dismiss all your claims and grant the loan monies that he later canceled, Mr. Big, grant the medical expenses and the pain and suffering of which I see evidence of. He was charged with assault and battery against you. All right, good luck to you. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Very happy that the judge saw it my way. Like, I should not have believed all those lies. I feel so stupid for believing those lies all that time.
I don't really have any feelings or anything towards her. She means nothing to me.